Hello, this is Paula Anderson with Paula Anderson Coaching Consulting. And this video is going to be something that I did a presentation on this month. And I did not get a chance to really do all of what I wanted to do with this presentation. So we're going to go over that tonight. So this is what this video is going to be over. So the first thing that I want you to do, so this is going to be an interactive video where I want you to get a pen and some paper, and also get something to just reflect on because this is going to be an interactive video. So the quote that I'm going to read first is, "I've never dreamed about success. I work for it." And that's by S.A. Lauder. Now, the reason why I'm using this quote is because back in 2014, I went through a life change, a life change, and my life changed so drastically that I had to just reinvent myself and do things differently than what I had been doing previously. So I want you to write down, what is success to you? So success means different things to different people. Michelle Obama has a quote that success is not about the money that you make, but it's about the difference that you make in other people's lives. So I want you to think about, what is your definition of success? Now, in 2019, I experienced something that was very traumatic. Um, and because I was trying to get my master's degree, I had to undergo some changes and some challenges. Now, this situation would have caused me to give up, but I did not give up. I went on and continued to do what I needed to do, but it was a very traumatic experience for me, primarily because I was kicked out of graduate school because my GPA dropped below a 2.75. I was trying to my housing situation was kind of unstable at the time. So it was a lot going on at that time, but I was able to recover. And so this video kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration and hope. Now, I want to talk about my professional experience. So I have been in the healthcare industry since 1987. I started out as a radiology clerk, code in radiology. And this was because I was a part of a program called Memphis Partners. And this program allowed me to work somewhere where I wanted to get some experience because my goal was to be a nurse at the time. However, I quickly changed that goal. But I worked for that company for about 14 years and got my coding certification in 2002 because I wanted to teach. My first business was called PA Medical Consulting, and I did that for about 5 years. Yeah, I did that for about 5 years. And then that business was not successful because there were some things that I did not know about business. And so I had to end that business and I started something different. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the medical coding industry. So when I started, of course, was in 1987, and things were not as formalized as they are now. So we didn't have HIPAA at that time period. We did have CPT codes and ICD-10 at the time, but that was pretty much the standardization. We used the claim form, but we had different versions of software. So we actually, didn't have the formalization or the standardization that we have today. So I want to talk about your leadership and career development. So when you are trying to lead a team, Of course, you need to identify what your leadership style is. So, are you a transformation leader? Are you transactional? Are you a servant leader or are you charismatic? So, when you think about transformational, this is someone that likes to inspire others. They want to see their team members or their teammates get to the next level. They want to focus on how can they develop them. That's what transformational is. Transactional is it's a one-sided type relationship. You do the work that you're assigned to do, and you get your paycheck, and that's really all that relationship is. It doesn't allow for autonomy. It doesn't allow for creativity. Charismatic. So, a charismatic leader is someone that is a change agent, someone such as President Barack Obama, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So, those were individuals that made a significant impact in our society. And then we have servant leaders. So, a servant leader is someone that works for a nonprofit organization or they are part of a faith-based organization. And of course, their goal is to serve others before they serve themselves. Now, if you are trying to get into a special area within medical coding, my recommendation is to specialize. Now, if you think about the coding exam and what were your scores? Like, what did you score high in? So that may be what you want to focus on as far as your specialization. AAPC offers several specialty certifications and you want to consider one of those certifications so that you can be specialized. So if you've already been working in the field for at least 5 years, then you want to consider getting a specialty certification based off of what you've been coding for the last 5 years. That way you can set yourself apart. Now, social media. Social media is a way for you to connect with individuals online. It's also a way for you to create content so that you can get job leads. And then it's also a way for you to showcase what you do. Now, LinkedIn is going to be the preferred platform for networking because it is a platform designed for professional networking. And when you create content, your content is going to feed through LinkedIn based off of what you say. So I know that we have the AI options, but all of my content is original. I don't use any AI generated content because I know how to write content or I know how to create content. So you want to make sure that you have a professional LinkedIn photo. You want to make sure that you're consistent with your posts. So you want to post at least 3 times a week. If you can't do it 3 times a week, do it 2 times a week. Just make sure that you do it on the same day of the week so that your followers will know. Now, just because you post content on your LinkedIn page, that does not mean that that they are seeing your content. So in order for you to know if they have seen it, is they have to like it, they have to share it, or they have to comment on it. So, but LinkedIn is going to figure out what your interests are, and they're going to send you content based off of what your interest is. Now, public relations is what I went to school for. I got my second bachelor's degree in public relations, and public relations is about building relationships. It has to be a mutually beneficial relationship, meaning that I give you something, you give me something. It's not a take relationship, it has to be beneficial to both parties. And when you're on LinkedIn, that is considered to be public relations because you're not really asking for anything. You're just kind of putting yourself out there so people can know what you're doing. Also, it helps you to build a personal brand. So, my personal brand is education, learning, communication, medical coding. So, I'm going to always post content related to those areas. So, people will know what your personal brand is once they see how consistent you are with your content. Now, independent contracting. Now, individuals that are trying to transition from working for someone to working for yourself, One thing that I would recommend is that you don't do it without having a full plan, like a business plan for how you're going to move from a full time to a day to a consulting position or independent contracting. So we're going to have a lunch, and well, actually, it's going to be a learn and apply on business structures. And I'm going to go over, well, I'm not going to go over, but we're going to go over what business structures are. But one of the things that I want to emphasize is that I started my business, my first business in 2019, and I'm sorry, in 1999. And I was a skilled technician. And because I was a technician, I really didn't have what I needed to know about business. So I didn't have a blueprint or a business plan. I didn't have a marketing plan. I didn't have a communication plan, nor did I have a financial plan. So all those documents that you need in order to establish a business or to have a business, I didn't have those things. So that's why I wasn't very successful with that business. Now, there's a book that I read called The E Myth, and I read this book through a program at the Nashville Business Incubator Center. So this was during COVID. And when I read this book, it helped me to figure out how can I scale my business. Um, and I developed a coaching program to help train individuals on how to teach. And so this coaching program helped them, it's helping them to understand how they need to teach. Now, one other thing about a business is, or being an independent contractor, is that you have to have professional liability insurance. So you want to make sure that you are covered. So the premium is not very expensive, but any type of training that you're doing under medical billing and medical coding, you definitely have to have professional liability insurance. Now, one of the things that a lot of individuals want to do is they want to get new credentials. And one credential, of course, is the certified risk adjustment. Now, I am not, that's not my credential, but I have listened to some individuals talk about that credential. And it seems to be one of the credentials that is going to be that's going to be needed. So you may want to do some research with APC to figure out if that's something that you want to do. The certified professional biller. So if you're already a CPC, then getting the CPB may be another credential that you want to add, depending on if you want to learn more about billing. So those certifications, that certification includes the CPC or coding as well as billing. And then if you want to be an approved instructor. So I got my instructor certification 2017, and it was something that I wanted to do because I enjoy teaching, and it was the next step for me. So now I'm going to get the CPB, and I'm getting the CPB because billing is something that I did for the majority of my professional career, and so now I need to be able to teach others about medical billing. So that's why I'm getting my certification for the purpose of teaching. So as you can see, when you're getting ready to decide on what your career path is going to be, one of the things that you want to write down or what you want to write is first you want to think about what goals do you want to set. So think about what goal do you want to accomplish between the next 12 months, and then what goal do you want to accomplish within the next 5 years. So I'll give you a short story, and then we'll conclude this video. So in 2014, well, 2015 actually, I had an opportunity to do an internship, and it was an unpaid internship. I was working a full time job, but I felt that I needed to take advantage of that opportunity because I may not have gotten it again. So I did that internship so that I could get that experience, and it totally changed my life. It helped me to get into writing, and it just allowed me to see things a little bit differently. And then it also gave me an opportunity to explore. So I highly recommend that you take some time to explore. You may not do exactly what I did, because that may not be where you are, but you can explore without taking a big risk. So thank you so much for watching this video. And we're going to have more videos from Paula Anderson Coaching Consulting. Thank you.